All right, guys, so welcome back into another PGA DFS video. We are going to be going over the fades and the leverage plays here for the Honda Classic, okay? Got a new tool to show you guys as well. It's going to be the custom model page here at 9 to 5 Sports. It's going to be looking familiar to some of you guys. We also have included ownership values in that as well. All this is still in beta. It is available for those members on 9 to 5 currently. So if you guys want to take a look at it, you guys can. It's just a way for you guys to be able to look at it maybe the way you guys want, maybe adjust it a little bit. It's going to be focusing on the key stats for whatever you guys see fit. So let's get into that right now. So it's kind of a simple tool here, guys. And we'll be getting into the fades and leverage plays here. I just want to show you guys how to use the tool here real quick so you guys can select which stats that you guys see fit for that week. So for me, I do want to look at total driving. I do want to look at ball striking. We're going to take stroke gain total out. We're going to take stroke gain off the tee out. We're going to take stroke gain. I actually want stroke gain approach. Stroke gain around the green we're taking out. Stroke gain putting we're taking out. Birdie to bogey ratio I'm going to include in there. Bogey avoidance I am including in there. Greens gained, don't really want to look at that. Good drive percentage. Going to be looking at that. Sometimes you'll have weeks where really hitting the fairway is going to be more key than good drives gained. This week, good drives gained is what you want to look at instead. Recovery, if you guys want to look at that, you can. Scoring before the cut, I'm going to be looking at that. Then we do have some more stats in there as well. Once again, this is a beta. We are going to be using stats in there more and more here as it comes once it gets finalized. So hopefully you guys enjoy this tool, and then it's going to be as simple as this. Select which stats you guys think are going to be the most key. So if you guys want to see, those players that are only striking the ball very well, you can look at, top in total driving, top in ball striking there. Then maybe you want to look at bogey avoidance as another key stat as well. You can do that. And then you have kind of your custom player pool already just by a few clicks there. 30 seconds, a minute there, maybe. It's as simple as that. So then you got your kind of your trimmed down player pool. Kind of as simple as that. It's an easy way for you guys to be able to use this tool and kind of create your own custom model there. Obviously, if you guys want course history and recent form, that's going to be on the other tab still. You guys can get that either at the PGA DFS cheat sheet or the PGA DFS player sheet. All still there on 9 to 5 Sports. But now let's get into kind of the fades, leverage, ownership plays as well. So I'm just going to reset this part of the tab, get everyone back, and then I'm going to focus on, which players are the most owned here. So as we can see, we only have 3 players that are going to be over 20% owned as of right now. I'm recording this Tuesday afternoon, so obviously this can change. And some news with Daniel Berger kind of broke already. People are worried about an injury. I just don't see him playing in this tournament if he was not healthy. Now, maybe that keeps you away from him in cash. That's going to be up to you guys. I don't think we have to do that, but you can if you want. It's just we don't have that many quality of plays. And for me, it does seem weird that Joaquin Niemann is going to be this high owned. But in terms of this week internal lineup process, it does make sense that he is going to be that high owned because I've ended up on his number a decent amount. So let's just look at the other players that are going to be high owned this week. Then we're going to get into some of the fades already. So Shane Lowry is going to be one of those guys that I think can be a fade. So he's going to be owned in about 17% of builds right now as of Tuesday. So I'm actually going to pull him up on the player data sheet as well to kind of compare him and show you guys why I don't like him as a play. Give it a second there. All right. So Shane Lowry. I don't dislike him as a play. To me, you guys will see him in another video here later on. I don't mind him as a play. Ranks out 21 in the model. That's perfectly fine. He's not a bad play. And I know last week, the fading the good plays didn't really work out. But, solid course history. If it does get windy, that's going to help him out a decent amount, I think. Heck, the last 2 times he's played here have been the windy conditions, and he's played well. But we kind of, interesting for him. He played poorly at the WGC event, 48th, missed the cut at the API, and then finally turned out a good week there at the Players' Championship. He's a guy who could turn it on really at any time. So it wouldn't shock me if he plays well. I just don't want to risk him in my PGA DFS lineup. So if you guys want to bet him outright, that's going to be up to you guys. Just not something I want to go out of my way to play. Little hint to another video later on. I don't want to go out of my way to play him on my PGA DFS builds. So then after that, I just don't like the ownership. So I'm going to be fading him at that ownership. Maybe if he was like 10%, I would think about it. And then Keegan Bradley casually popping up at 16% ownership. I just don't feel like that is going to be a good number for Keegan Bradley. Just, oh man, it's just a tough price to pay for Keegan when course history is not that good. I mean, recent form has been solid. We see that. Recent form has been solid. Can't take that away from him. But course history, 2 missed cuts and a top 49 finish. That is it. Okay. 29th in the mile. That's not bad. He's just not someone I feel like we could go out of our way to bet or play. Now, obviously, solid stat rank play. He's a guy where he could easily turn it around. To me, he'd be classified more as a sleeper rather than he would be kind of like a shoulder stroke play or a guy that you guys would want to go out of your way to play because he's a good stat fit in good recent form, just horrible course history. He's not a guy where you guys would want to go out of your way to play. So now after Keegan Bradley, let's see which other players might be a little bit lower on. Let's go to top 10 to, I don't know, 17% owned. So Taylor Gooch, now this is going to be an ownership leverage play for me, guys. So just kind of looking at the key stats that we have pulled up already for him, he ranks, his worst rank is going to be 96 in good drives gained. That's fine. Scoring before the cut, 33rd. Ball striking, total driving, all not that great, but we'll pull him up on the cheat sheet here and kind of get that more focused in approach with Taylor Gooch and see why I really do like him as a play this week. And what's his current ownership? 15%. I'm going to get some leverage on that. Probably going to have him around 20%, maybe 25% ownership here this week. Get this a second to load. There we go. All right, so 21st stat rank play. That's not bad. Overall, could be a little bit better for 9.3, but we look at his course history average, 1 missed cut, but that was 3 years ago. After that, 20th and then a 38th place finish. Recent form has been spectacular. And he's played well in those tougher tracks. So for me, I'm definitely going to get that ownership leverage on Taylor Gooch this week, guys. It feels correct. And it's also just kind of a price point where if you're fading Berger and you really don't want to pay up for Neiman or Sungjae Im, you're just ending up on his number a ton. So it's kind of just the natural play there at that price point range for a guy that's almost checking all the boxes this week. We kind of just end up on him. And then after that, so Kevin Streelman, to me, he feels like a guy that should not be this high owned. It just does not feel right. 12% ownership, I don't think I can do that this week. Now I get it. He has name value. We know what type of player he is. Typically, this would be a great event for him. Top 20 stat rank play. So it makes sense. If he was kind of playing his normal golf, though, he'd be a top 10 stat rank play this week. Look at his course history. 2 made cuts in a row, but not really good starts. And then we look at his recent form. Coming off of a missed cut, 52 at the Genesis Invite. Played well for a little stretch there. Farmers, Waste Management, Pebble Beach, and then a miscut. So really his recent form just hasn't been there for him. For me to really trust him as a play, 7.7 is a good price point. But for me, that kind of brings up an ownership leverage play that I want to talk about. And that's going to be, we're going to have to pull him up here, at the same price point or near the same price point. It's going to be Adam freaking Hadwin, baby. Let's see what he's projected at for ownership. 4% ownership. Let's go. That is a leverage ownership play. I'm going to definitely have more ownership than that for him. I think that's going to be a strong ownership leverage play. And all right, I'm starting to get why people like to do this content. I still consider ownership talk just fluff content, just focus on making your best builds. It's kind of fun though. I didn't realize we could get the ownership leverage on Adam Hadwin like this. I like it. So model rank 58, not that good there. Stat rank, not that good there. Okay, we have real no data points to point to him being a good play other than previous knowledge, if you will, and the fact that he's been in solid recent form. So 1 missed cut at the API recently. We do worry about that. But 29th at the Players, played well at the Genesis Invite, top 30 finish there. Made the cut at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and then 2 straight top 32 finishes after that as well. So overall, Adam Hadwin has been in some good recent form, top 20 overall in that. I'd much rather play him than Kevin Streelman. I'm going to take that ownership leverage this week. All day, baby. All day. Let's go. All right. So now after Adam Hadwin, I kind of want to see who else maybe we can get some ownership leverage on and who else we could fade. So let's see here. We'll go from like 7 to 15% ownership. Maybe drop that down a little bit more. So, I feel like Adam Scott is I think he's going to bump up a little bit more than what he's currently at. I could just see that happening. So I do see a name that's kind of popping out to me here, guys. Jonathan Vegas at, probably going to be 10% ownership. That doesn't feel right to me. And kind of same thing with Wyndham Clark. Those two are going to be worry plays for me. I don't think we should play them. And I'm just going to pull those two up here as well. So Clark and then Johnny V. It is Vegas week though, baby. March Madness is back. Let's have a good time with that. Also, by the way, that Midwest region, I think it's what it was with Illinois and Houston. Bracket committee did them dirty. That's a stacked bracket. I'll tell you what, I still love that joke. I know you guys do too. If you didn't get it, play it back. It's a good joke, but for real, that bracket is loaded. Lots of value. Upset picks, Belmont, potentially even Viola as well. Good stuff. I'm excited for it. My Wisconsin Badgers as well. I don't have my gear here, but they're in that bracket as well. They suck though, so don't worry about them. But Jonathan Vegas, top 22 in the model. We got Wyndham Clark, top 15 in the model. But we worry about the stat rank and we worry about kind of the recent form rank with both of them. So good course history with both of them, and that's what you're hanging your hat on. That's why you play them both. We look at Johnny V, 61st place finish at the Players. I do see this event more of a Puerto Rico Open type event, which everyone knows 9 to 5 specialty is that. But man, I don't know if I can do that. 10%, I feel like you should be like 5% because it's a risky play and there's not that much reward. At least with Wyndham Clark, there is a little bit of reward because he had been playing some good golf. Prior to that, he did show a little bit of upside there, and he's shown upside at this course previously. I'd probably have more of like 5% ownership for Wyndham Clark than I would Johnny V there. So now let's just pull up some other plays here. I'm curious to see where Jim Boy Ferrick is this week. Let's see here. Ownership wise, I think his number is going to rise a ton. So currently 12%. I think that's going to be closer to 15%, guys. I don't know. I think it's going to be much higher than that. So kind of maybe a pivot from that if you guys want. Not really a fade, but there is some leverage that we can gain here. It's going to be Cameron Piercy at 6.4% ownership. Total driving ball striking could be better there, but I'm going to pull him up here on this page and we can kind of get a better picture of why he's going to be a good play. He's pretty much Jonathan Vegas, but cheaper and a better stat rank play. So top 18 stat rank play. Perfectly fine with him. Now, he is coming off of a miscut at the API, but made the cut at the Players, played just as good at the Puerto Rico Open, and had been playing, fairly decent golf prior to that. We get a price discount, and a guy who's also made the cut here last year. Much rather get an ownership leverage on him than maybe go with someone like Jonathan Vegas. And now let's give you guys a deep flyer here. Maybe a sub 5% ownership play. Oh man, let's get crazy with it. Let's see who we got. And I'm actually going to really try to factor this in here. Really make a kind of a custom sorted approach here. Obviously these guys suck. That's why no one wants to be on them. So let's just see who we can get on. Maybe get a little bit more close with ball striking. A little bit lower with bogey avoidance. We're just going to keep this bad boy going down. So, interesting here. Let's see which one I would go with the most. Maybe Bryce Garnett? I don't know. That's close. I mean, it's got to be Stuart Sink, but he's burned us so much lately. Good stat fit once again. I don't know, I could see it. 2% ownership. I could see that number getting higher. Obviously, Doc Redman, he's going to be out, so that 0.1 is just factoring in just random BS. Stuart Sink, that's an interesting ownership leverage play. I don't know if I exactly would go with him as a pick there. It's close. Let's see if there's anyone else. Maybe 8% ownership that we could get on at that same. All right, so that's going to be John Huh, 6.4% ownership. That would be my ownership leverage special there at below like 8%. I feel pretty good about him as a play this week. Value-wise, makes a lot of sense to play him as a pick. Top 44 in the model, guy that should easily be able to make the cut this week. All right, but that's all I have for you guys for the fades and leverage plays here. Let me know if you guys want this to be a weekly thing. I can easily do that. If you guys are interested in using the tool at 9 to 5 Sports, $10 a month to join. This is something that's going to be available right now. It's in beta. I might make some adjustments here and there and whatnot. So let me know if you guys like that tool on the Discord chat once you join 9 to 5 Nation. All right, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, let's keep cashing. By the way, it did snow here yesterday. Pretty much after I got done doing my 2 videos for the day, it freaking snowed. I was about to bust out the blaze again. You guys remember last week? in this same video, I had my rollerblades out. It was 60 degrees out, and then it freaking snowed. Insane. Might have to bust out the skis one more time. And then I almost went golfing on freaking Saturday and Sunday. Gonna have to wait probably a couple more weeks for that. Then you know those bad boy golf ball reviews are gonna be coming here shortly. You know, this stuff. I know you guys like that. Look at that. That's a nice looking golf ball. All right, I'm out, guys.